why should we be more like Hank Hill and less like, let's say, Ben and Jerry?
Yeah, so I want to make one distinction when we think about the Ben and Jerry example
Yeah.
is, there could be a company that looks like it's doing some sort of corporate social responsibility effort. Maybe that's donating to a certain cause or reaching out to a certain constituency. And really that's marketing, right?
Yeah.
That's not actually pursuing something that's outside of the scope of profit. So it gets very tricky here to really discern what a company is doing. But there might be lots of times that a company seems like it's doing some sort of corporate social responsibility, but it's really just trying to build a better brand for itself. So there's some distinctions there, and we could talk about that later. But really the most famous and classic kind of repartee to the corporate social responsibility framework is from Milton Friedman in his New York Times essay, which is really the classic essay on this topic, where he says the social responsibility of business is business, or is to seek profits. So he has a few objections to these measures, and the biggest is basically that those who are pursuing these other goals within the corporation are really spending other people's money without those people having a say in how it's spent. So in this case, right, the owner of the business, that's their money that's within the business, and the managers within the business or those CEOs or C-suite executives are spending the money in a way that the owner doesn't have a say over, and it really is bearing the cost but not the benefits of. So that's the core objection that he brings. Another objection that we can think about is we have a political process for pursuing specific goals, right? So when there's something that we all say, oh, this is a problem, we can think of pollution, right? And there are laws against pollution that govern how businesses can and cannot pollute. And when we are creating a new law, there's public comment period, there's public debate. You might write a letter to your representative. There's this process that we have for deciding, is this something that is valuable to us? And in a representative government, we have that to a greater or less degree. But we have some version of that. And this shortchanges that whole process and basically legislates through the corporation. And almost all, we can talk about theoretical objections, but in practice, they're almost always very controversial, politically charged types of things that these companies are pursuing.